There was once a man named Jonathon, an aging creative whose talent had long since faded into the background noise of daily obligations. One rainy evening, after inheriting an old loft from a mentor he hadn't seen in 20 years, Jonathon found himself standing in the doorway of a crumbling studio. Dust floated in the shafts of light like forgotten memories. The walls, they were all cracked. The floorboards, they creaked like they remembered way too much. And then he saw it. A wall that didn't belong. It was mismatched. It was poorly sealed. Jonathon chipped away at it, his hands trembling. Behind it, a vault. Not one of riches, not one of secrets, but of unfinished things. Dozens of drawers, each labeled with a strange and delicate script. April 1999, the play you never finished. Demo tape number 3 for her before she left. Poem torn in half that night. Letter to yourself, age 27. Jonathon, he opened a drawer and the air shifted. The room grew colder. A faint melody began to hum from nowhere. A tune that he once started writing, now playing itself back to him, half-built, hungry. As the days passed, the vault, it came alive. The unfinished projects began to haunt him, not like ghosts, though, but like echoes. They whispered from behind his thoughts. They breathed behind his shoulder when he slept. You see, Jonathon, he saw versions of himself, young, passionate, afraid, working feverishly, and then stopping just short of finishing. He began to understand something dark, something vital. These were not just drafts. They were pieces of his soul that he had abandoned, and they had not forgotten him. Then one night, Jonathon had a dream that one of them would finish him, rewrite his legacy as one of almosts, of beginnings without endings. So, Jonathon began. He didn't see brilliance. He just picked a drawer and finished. Sloppily at first, of course, imperfectly, but honestly. And with each completed piece, the air lightened. The hauntings slowed. The younger versions of himself stopped pacing in the background. They watched quietly and gratefully. Eventually, in the final drawer, Jonathon found an old photo, a crayon drawing of a boy holding a camera, smiling like the world had no edges. The vault hadn't stored forgotten work. It had stored forgotten selves. And one by one, Jonathon brought all of them back. I think every creative person has their own vault. It might be a digital folder called Ideas, a journal that you stopped writing in after page 47, maybe a melody stuck in your voice notes from 2018, a story outline that you never believed you were good enough to write. And we all tell ourselves it's just unfinished. But sometimes what's unfinished isn't the work, it's us. What we leave behind, it doesn't disappear, it waits. And over time, I think it becomes something heavier than even regret. I think it becomes a shadow version of the life that we could have lived if we just had the courage to return. Not to make it perfect, but to make it whole. I think true creative mastery isn't found in the fresh start. It's forged in the return, in honoring what you once started before fear, before doubt, before perfectionism crept in. You don't need a blank page. You need a brave one. Return to the vault. Face the silence. And finish. Not because the world needs to see it, of course, but because the you who once believed in it still needs to be heard. Now go, honor truth, face what is, speak what's real, and create from the deepest place you know.